All right, hello everybody. I wanted to come on real quick and do a response to what's that? Flavors of wisdom. How you doing, honey? I want to do a response to your comment. Um the video that I made titled Take Accountability and Love the Truth, you left this comment. I'm gonna read the comment, okay? You said, isn't this victim blaming for abused women? So you're saying my video is victim. You said, isn't this victim blaming for abused women? I will not take ownership for my husband trying to take my life. My years of therapy go against what you have said. You are making blanket statements that don't apply to everyone. I blame the man I married. We had wonderful careers and no one would have expected it. This is very hurtful. So I guess you're saying my video was very hurtful. I pray that all women abused seek professional help. Miss Flavor of Wisdom. I don't know if you're a subscriber or a new subscriber. I'm not sure. But I would never blame a woman for being abused. That's why I said I don't know if you're new, you just come across my video. I don't know how you took that my video was blaming women for being abused. I don't understand how you come to that point. But in my video, I was saying how we as women, I've been in an abusive relationship too, and how we as women, a lot of time we get into relationships that we should not be in because we ignore all the signs. We think we can change people. And anytime you're in a relationship and a man abuses you, I would never tell another woman, like you said here, you said you blame your husband for the abuse. Yes, people that are abusive, yeah, that man is abusive. You blame him for beating on you, yes, because he abused you or whatever he did. He destroyed the marriage. He done all those things, yes. He must take accountability for what he's done, but he may never take accountability. What my goal and desire is for women is to also take accountability for choices that we've made. Now, I don't know about the choice when you decided to marry him. I don't know if you saw red flags in him and you thought it would change, or you just let it go. I don't know that situation when it comes to your story. But what I'm saying to women, because I want us to do better, make better choices, whenever you see, and most women that are in abusive relationships, things are presented to us, whether the man was an angry man, whether he had a lot of aggression, how he was raised, his background. A lot of those things we see. We see those things in the people we choose to marry, but we feel like we can change people and we can make things better for people. So what I'm saying is we never blame women, victim blaming and all that kind of stuff. That's something I would never do. But I do encourage women to take accountability. You have to take accountability, because if you knew that a man, and I'm not saying this is your situation, but if you married a man that beat his first wife and second wife, or he didn't pay his child support, or he was a very aggressive man, if you married a man that cheated to be with you, if you knew all these things before you said I do to the person, that means you have to take accountability. When I was in a bad relationship, and I met the guy that I was in a bad relationship with when I was a young girl, I chose to hide that relationship from my parents as a young person. I knew this person's background. He had grew up in foster homes. He had a temper, but I still chose to choose him. And I end up going through a lot in that relationship. Yes, that man that I was in a relationship with, he did a lot of horrible things to me. He caused a lot of pain in my life, but he has to choose to accept what he did. But me, when I say we have to take responsibility, I take full responsibility. I had no business with him. If I would have let my parents know when I was a young girl that I had met this person, that would have ended. But I chose to hide it because, honey, I knew my parents would not let me be with somebody like that, but I wanted to. You see, I knew this was an angry person, but I thought, my goodness, and my kindness, I could change him, make him see something different. So I have to take responsibility for allowing myself to get in that situation. I don't take responsibility because he is who he is. He got to take responsibility for who he is. It's just like a person that going through rehab or something. People sell alcohol beverages, but you have to take responsibility. If you know you can't control or you got addiction, you have to take responsibility for going in there purchasing something that you know was going to cause you to be in a state that's not going to turn out good for you. So when I'm saying we should take up responsibility, ma'am, I'm not saying I'm not victim blaming anybody. I'm just saying in order to be healed, no matter how bad the relationship was, yes, the man destroyed the marriage. Yes, the man, did a lot of things to you or me or any woman. Those people, they did what they did. But so that we don't end up choosing the same person, so that we don't end up being violated and being a victim, let's make better choices. But you got to, now you don't have to, you can do whatever you like. But for me, I had to take responsibility of entering into a relationship where I know I did not have no business being. If I would have just obeyed my intuition and obeyed God in a lot of my relationships, I wouldn't have been in them. He would have never had a chance. Certain men would have never had a chance to do anything to me because you know what? I chose what I know to be good. But because I didn't choose that, guess what? This is what happens. It's just like you teach your children to do this, don't do that, do it. And a lot of times your children end up doing the total opposite of what you said. And when they begin to do the total opposite, guess what? It leads them into a life of a lot of chaos. So you have to take responsibility for the men that we choose to date, the men that we choose to marry. Because if you don't take responsibility with what you have done, if you knew that man was violent, you knew that man cheated on his wife, you knew that man didn't have no integrity, he didn't have no character, but if you chose to be with him anyway, we don't applaud the abuse that he did. No, he shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? He need to be held liable for what he's done. No, he shouldn't have done that. But guess what? I shouldn't have been in a relationship with him either. I hope that makes sense. Because when you take responsibility for the choices that you made, guess what? You come out better. No one is victim blaming. I would never do that. That's why I say I don't know if you're new to my channel or what, but anybody that knows me, I would never blame a victim for being a victim. But what I will say to the victim is, how did we get here? You got to take accountability to see how you got. How did you end up with a man that burned your house down? How did you end up with a man that assaulted your children? How did we get here? Because if you don't take responsibility of a responsibility of how do we get there, guess what? You will repeat it. So this is why I want to respond to your comment, and I don't know how it was very hurtful. I don't know how allowing us to realize and take accountability for things so we can be better, how was that hurtful? So I guess you just misunderstood my video. You just took it the wrong way. But I just wanted to come on and respond to your comment that we must. Now, you don't have to take responsibility for anything. You could continue to blame your husband and whatever, that's your choice, ma'am. But what I'm saying to those of us that want to heal, those of us that want to be better, we want to make sure that we don't make the same choice. Because guess what? These violent men, these aggressive men, they not going to change. If God ain't going to change them, they not going to change. So guess what? So we don't make the same mistakes. And so that our children, our granddaughters, the little girls that's coming up behind us, we want to teach them how to make better choices too. Because you got to think to yourself, in taking accountability, how did I get here? Yes, it's wrong that a man abuse you. It's terrible that he gonna do that. But guess what? You got men out there that's gonna do it. But to keep us from getting in those situations, we take accountability. Whether we had low self-esteem, whether we thought we can change them, whether we were older and wanted to marry somebody, whether we looked at a man for his finances and felt like, oh, he make that kind of money, girl, I'm gonna marry him. Whatever your reason was for choosing that person, only you know, only I know why I chose people. Only you know why you chose them people, and decide to ignore any signs, any red flags, purple flags, whatever, even any good advice somebody might have gave you. God always, the Holy Spirit is so good, always give us a warning. Don't marry this person. Or marry this person. Don't get in a relationship with that person. He always warns us. You know why? Because he's a good father. He's a good God. So, however we ended up in a relationship, yes, we have to take some accountability. Yes. For the choices that we made, not for the abuse. No one is saying, it's my fault he abused me. No, because people are who they are. But it is our fault that we chose to go beyond the boundaries and beyond what we know is good for ourselves. We take accountability for that. Then you have to ask yourself what attract, and then you got to find, like I said, you got to find out what your reasons was for choosing whoever you chose to be with. Whatever to say, I wanted to get out my mama's house, child. I was ready to be on my own. I was homeless. He said he'll take care of me and my children. Whatever the reason is. And I know it gets tough, and I know it's very difficult in life, especially when you're a single woman trying to raise children. Let me tell you, I'm not insensitive. I understand all those things. One thing I'll never stop saying is we have to take accountability, okay? I had to take accountability, and we have to take accountability. If you're going to recover, if you're going to get better, you got to be honest with yourself. Because you're examining yourself. When you examine yourself, honey, it's just you. When you go in the operating room, it's just you by yourself. You got to deal with why you do what you do. I had to deal with it. God had to strip me and show me, well, Yvette, why did you choose this person? Well, Lord, this is the real reason I chose him. Okay, what was the attraction, Yvette? Why was you attracted to somebody like that? Because I was so used to dysfunctioning, Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I got to come up out of that so I don't do it again. So I really hope this helps. I really hope it explains. I'm sorry you took that video the wrong way, but we have to take accountability. But like I said, you grown, you can do what you want. You don't have to. I'm sorry the video was hurtful to you. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe the video triggered a lot of things. And I didn't think I made any blanket statements that don't apply to everyone. Everybody has to take accountability. And the man that's doing the abuse, that's abusing, he may never take accountability. But guess what? That ain't none of my business. I want to take accountability so I don't repeat the same thing. I don't want to marry another joker like that. I don't want to be involved with nobody like that. So I got to examine Yvette in my mindset and the way I think about things so I don't choose them no more. But like I said, yes, honey, you got to take responsibility. And like I said, you don't have to take, like you said, I take ownership. I will not take ownership for my husband trying to take my life. You shouldn't. You shouldn't take ownership of him trying to take your life. That was him trying to take your life. But you have to consider, how did I end up with somebody that was trying to take my life? That's what I'm saying. How do I end up with somebody that done so many horrible things to me? How? That's all I'm saying, okay? So anyway, Miss Flavors of Wisdom, I hope this helps you a little bit. And any woman that's in an abusive relationship or coming out of an abusive relationship, I hope you get on your road to recovery, and that you allow God to heal you so you don't do it again, and you can help your granddaughters and any female so she don't repeat these horrible things. Okay, so anyway, love y'all. Thank you for your comment. Y'all be blessed.